I never thought that we would be arguing about the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare in the Democratic primary. Senator Sanders wants to dismantle Obamacare, dismantle the CHIP program, dismantle Medicare, dismantle private insurance.
What do you know? Look who's in the fight now. While there are those who truly fear what might happen at the Republican National Convention, others believe there should be zero fear. Desire to face the president and future of the party head on right now. There's also a belief among some insiders that only one candidate on the stage tonight is the real establishment possible, who can unify everyone in a fight against the mother of that young lady, or a guy named Bernie Sanders. And while we're at it, putting Chelsea front and center may not have been the smartest of ideas, okay? Load it up, let's get to work with this edition of The Political Animal. He is the veteran Republican strategist who has every nook and cranny inside the beltway under his wise visage. No fear with Ford O'Connell. Joined by the veteran Democratic strategist, CEO of Bannon Communications Research, a crafty political southpaw who very, very, very nicely has a Boston Bruins cap on one of his pictures that we've seen. Nice choice, Brad Bannon. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. All right. Hey, Brad, I'm going to begin with you. Chelsea Clinton goes on the attack here. The Democrats are shocked. Bernie Sanders is shocked. Bernie Sanders even says, as much as I admire Chelsea, she really didn't read all the plans that she's talking about. Brad, almost everybody that I've talked to today agrees this was a bad move and almost desperation by the Clinton campaign. What do you think?
I agree. I'm a Democrat, and I think it was a very bad move. Chelsea Clinton could be a valuable asset to Hillary's campaign, but not as an attack dog. What they should be doing with Hillary is she should be on a commercial with her mother, talking about what a great mother and grandmother Hillary is. Why they're using her as an attack dog totally escapes me, and I can only guess is because they're feeling desperate these days because Bernie Sanders is closing in on polls.
All right, now let's get to that. And Ford, I wanted to come to you right here, and I want to talk about the desperate
the combat that we have on the Republican side. It's very simple. It's the power of misinformation. Bernie's doing better than they thought, and they want him out. They don't want a long, drawn-out primary. They want to focus on the Republicans.
But why? I mean, wait a minute, Ford, let's just look at this from your perspective as well. Why so concerned? I mean, look, the Clinton campaign has so much money. They've got the woman who was Secretary of State. Let's not go there, of course. We could talk about a lot there. But they were feeling pretty confident a month ago. What happened?
Yeah, but it's not that. This is about putting the nomination away. Trust me, Bernie could win Iowa, New Hampshire, and even potentially Nevada. They just don't want to have this to be long and drawn out. They know they're going to win. They want to win now. Put this behind them. That's the whole point here. And frankly, guess what? It's the power of misinformation. They never said what Bernie wants to replace it with, and that's the key. Most voters are either uninformed or misinformed, and that's what they're playing to. That's the Clinton syndicate.
Brad, the way they're going right now with this, the way that Bill Clinton has come in and really upset a lot of people, and now Chelsea Clinton as the attack dog. Quite frankly, is the Clinton campaign just handing this race right now to Bernie Sanders on a plate?
No, I don't think so. I don't think they're handing it to him on the plate because I think Hillary Clinton is still the front runner, but they are certainly making it easier for Bernie Sanders to catch up to them. You know, one of the things, since Chelsea Clinton raised this attack, the Sanders campaign has been raising contributions, small contributions, hands and fist. So it's already helped Bernie Sanders. Now, I still think Hillary's the front runner, but she's not doing herself any good by using her daughter as an attack dog.
Yeah, she's not the attack dog type. Let's just say that. Okay, Ford, here we go from the right. This came out in the New York Times. Other outlets soon to follow. Ted Cruz, according to them, did not disclose a loan from Goldman Sachs for his first Senate campaign. The voters in Iowa called this failure a bit of a setback, is all they said. Here's what some of the residents said.
Overall, I think it affects his credibility, yes.
I would say it makes me pause. I wouldn't say it makes me stop or it makes me think less of him as a person until I heard more details. But I mean, it is something that you want to think about and consider.
Now, Cruz said this is no big deal. We had a brokerage account, he and his wife, that has a standard margin loan. Like any account, we borrowed against the stocks and assets we had under ordinary terms. He's saying that this is no big deal and this just being blown up at this point to attack him. What do you think?
Well, I think
Well,
it is no big deal, but it's being added on to the citizenship problem, which 32% of Iowa Republicans don't think someone born outside the United States should be president of the United States. Basically, if Ted Cruz doesn't win Iowa, he isn't going to win the nomination. And guess what? I'm not so sure it was Donald Trump who put this out there. I think it was one of the more establishment folks.
All right, now let's look from a strategy standpoint here, Brad. I know you look mostly at the left, but talk strategy here. This something that's come out right now. It seems minor, but it still does speak to a little bit of credibility. Should Donald Trump and the others use this to attack Ted Cruz, who's got to be on the offense tonight?
Well, I think Donald Trump will use it tonight because Donald Trump never holds back. You know, this is the worst kind of Washington insider story. You get $500,000 from Goldman Sachs. Oh, and just by coincidence, your wife is a member of the board of directors. It smacks of cronyism, nepotism, and inside politics. And Donald Trump is going to go to town with this.
All right, I only got about 40
To
seconds.
Brad's point, though,
Go ahead.
it goes to credibility. Cruz says he's a straight talker and a populist fighting against Wall Street. Not so good. Little doubt there. Could hurt him. But if he wins Iowa, it'll be forgotten.
There's a lot of credibility and morality questions going around on this stage tonight. All right, real quick, here we go. I got 30 seconds left. Ford, who's out after tonight?
Who's out after tonight? Well, you want to know what? Rand Paul's already out. I guess John Kate. Well, no, I think no one's out really until we're done with New Hampshire.
Okay, and that's a little bit anti what a lot of people are saying, that we got to get at least a couple off the stage here. Brad, I got 10 seconds left here. Who's out after tonight?
Everybody but Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and Marco Rubio is out.
Although I think that you better be careful because Christie may sneak in there, and Jeb Bush would be very unhappy with us. What do you say about that?
Get and walk, Jeb
There
Bush.
you go. Brad Bannon, Ford O'Connell, gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time. Remind you, spend your time right here on Newsmax, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Pacific Time tonight. The panels will be here. The experts will be here. Our post-debate special will give you the full breakdown of what happened. Speaking of no fear, a lot of reasons to not fear technology when it comes to your health. We're going to talk about that when we continue right here on The Hard Line.